Hello everyone and welcome back to the Do Digital YouTube channel. In today's video we're going to be talking all things Skillshare earnings and what I've earned and learned in the last 6 months on the platform. So about 3 months ago I did a 3-month update video for you guys sharing my income and some of the tips and tricks I'd learned along the way. And today's video is going to be similar but with all the more experience 3 months later. So a full 6 months on the platform, what I've earned, what I've learned, and so much more. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Mace and every week I release tech tutorials helping you do digital better. So let's dive straight into the earning side of things, because I know some people will just want to know the dollar amount, and then as we progress in the video, if you are more serious about creating a Skillshare course, then I'll share a little bit more in terms of my experience on the platform. So the dollar amount is $1,472, and if you're not in the US and you're wondering what does that mean in terms of other currencies, in South Africa it's about 22,600 Rand, in the UK it's about 1,100 pounds, and in India it's about 110,000 Indian rupee. So it's a decent amount of money to be making over and above a salary, for example, but obviously not enough to sustain you. So to give you an indication of how I've kind of got to this number, so I released my first course, which was an introduction to social media marketing 6 months ago. That was my first course, and to date it's had 888 students and 42 likes. I then released a course called Facebook Pixel for Beginners, which was quite a bit shorter than my first course. I think my first course was about an hour and the Facebook Pixel for Beginners was about 20 minutes or so. So that's had 59 students. WhatsApp for Business, a game changer for small businesses, has had 27 students, also a shorter course, about 20-25 minutes. And then finally, How to Become a YouTuber is another 1-hour masterclass, same as my initial course, and that has had 37 students. So that should give you a rough indication in terms of earning on the platform. And if you know anything about the Skillshare revenue structure and how it works, is Skillshare is like a Netflix but for education. So anyone who is on the platform and actively watching videos there is almost certainly a premium member. So if you haven't upgraded to the premium version of Skillshare, you won't be able to watch much further than the first 1 or 2 videos within each course. So your job as an instructor is not actually to convert people, because most of the people that are on the platform are premium members. It's simply to get as many premium minutes, so very similar to YouTube's watch time, on the platform as you humanly can. But the second part to that is that they actually pay $10 per referral link. And you will see in my little earnings breakdown that we're going to get into in just a second, is just as important for earning money on the platform, because with me and having a YouTube channel, quite a few people click on the links, which also earns a healthy kind of side dose of income. So I hope that explains exactly how Skillshare's earning works. This is in contrast to something like Udemy, which is also a marketplace, but you're actually having to convert people to purchase your specific course, whereas Skillshare, thankfully, a lot of that selling is done for you, which is why I really like the platform. Alright, so hopping straight into my earnings breakdown, starting from May of this year, I made a total of $41.70, of which $40 was a referral amount, so 4 referrals, and $1.70 was premium watch minutes. In June, that went up to $181, of which $10 was referrals, so only 1 referral in that instance. July, $253, of which 2 referrals were made, $20, the rest was royalties. In August, $215, of which there were no referrals, purely premium watch time. In September, $323 total, of which $70 was referrals, so 7. And then finally October, which was last month, was $456, of which $90 was referrals. So you can see that the referrals are gaining nicely, as are the total earnings, but the royalties are a lot more, they fluctuate a lot more than the royalties do, because royalties, obviously, as you gain students, the more royalties you're kind of going to get each month. And I would assume that at one point the course kind of reaches its max point, and then I guess it would go down on the other side as well. So it's pretty decent income when you compare it to something like YouTube, in which I've expressed this before, but in YouTube I only started earning about 18 months into the platform, whereas with Skillshare you can see I already earned $41.70 in my first month. Let's dive into minutes watched. So I'm going to show you guys by months, and there you can see that it really is quite a steady graph in terms of minutes watched, but October was definitely my best month. So something that you may find a little bit confusing about Skillshare is that dollar amount in the top left hand corner, 1472, that is my total earned to date up until the end of October. So that's what's certain. The part that's uncertain is what was earned in November, because we're in the middle of November. So it'll give you a guesstimation of what it thinks you have earned so far. But this is quite rough because you can see the difference between $220 and $310 is quite large. So that's the month to date estimated royalty earnings. And then the 150 is the certain part, because that means there've been 15 referrals in November already. And it stays like this until the 16th of December, which is next month, in which the month to date then becomes finalized and you get your earning from PayPal. And then that gets added into the top left hand corner, and then you start again. So what is a bit confusing is if you log in for the first 15 days of December, I will be seeing November's projections up until the point that I'm paid, and I will have no idea within that first 15 days how I'm doing for December. So there is a bit of a delay in the reporting, but I think it's still quite nice that you get a good guesstimate in the last 15 days of the month. And then secondly, you can look at the students graph, which is almost identical to the minutes watched graph. So not much change there. But that's kind of what your Skillshare earnings look like. So something which I mentioned in my previous Skillshare video, which is definitely worth bringing up again, is the fact that Udemy has a thing called Marketplace Insights, which is basically a predictive tool which is going to help you understand what course to put out to your audience based on how popular that topic is, how competitive the niche is, and how much other instructors are earning in that niche. Whereas sadly with Skillshare, you are kind of shooting in the dark. So you can definitely see, for example, that my social media course is the most popular, and a lot of that does have to do with the fact that it's been live the longest, but I think just in general that is a good topic. And it's clearly ranking well within its niche. So sadly, I can't give you too many tips around what topic to pick, because as I say, there's no way, sadly, of knowing that up front like there is on Udemy. So I actually have a Skillshare highlights reel over on my Instagram. If you're not yet following me, please do. My professional account is Megs_Hollis, and I would love to chat with you guys in the DMs if you are interested in following me on Instagram or finding out anything else about Skillshare that you maybe want me to make a video about. While we're on that topic, please like this video and subscribe if you are finding it helpful. So the Instagram stories reel that I've created on my Instagram is actually showing you guys exactly my progress to date. So at this stage, when I took the screenshot about a week or so ago, I had 864 students, and people say such lovely things about you, and that's not always the case on the internet. So Kerry says, great place to start, as social media can be overwhelming. I certainly will follow Meg. She does an excellent job. Thank you. Thank you, Kerry. Bridget says, this class gave a great overview of the main social media outlets used for marketing and how to use them effectively. It gave great starting points and action steps without being either too basic or too advanced. And I must say that was probably my biggest reservation about creating a beginner's guide to social media, because what is a beginner on social media? I feel like we're all so kind of used to social media, but possibly not from a marketing perspective. So you do have to be quite explicit as you introduce all of your various courses in terms of telling people what they can expect if they spend the time watching your course, and what are some of the outcomes or objectives of that course. Noreen said, I love this course and the instructor and would love to see more intermediate courses from her. So you can see that some people watch the beginner's course because there is no intermediate course, but obviously they would prefer to watch a more advanced training. But my kind of rationale was that a beginner's course would have broader appeal, because obviously there's more people starting out from scratch. Lauren says, great insight, helped me to guide with my own social media. Lucille says, I like this course and the instructor's personable yet direct style. Chris says, clear and concise, looking forward to the next video. Something else which is really helpful is that you can see in the reviews of your course that the most liked thing about my courses is an engaging teacher. Thanks guys. The clarity of instruction and helpful examples, and then whether it exceeded people's expectations or simply met them. So I will say that Skillshare does make it quite easy for you to know exactly how you're doing on the platform, and you never really have to guess. I'm almost reaching the 1,000 student mark based off of the following from the last 4 courses, and I'm actually doing a 5th and 6th course this weekend, so those will be live soon, and you guys of course will be the first to know. If you want to use my Skillshare referral code, as you can tell, I would be most grateful because I do get $10 each time, but you guys also get a 2-week free trial. So if you're interested in becoming a teacher on Skillshare or a student, you can check out that referral link down below and you can get the 2 weeks free. And it's really helpful, especially if you want to be a teacher on Skillshare, to watch the style of the videos. I think that was the most helpful part for me, was really just using and abusing that trial period to understand how is it that people present their courses, what do you like about other people's courses, and what you can possibly emulate in your own courses. So that is it for today, guys. I really hope that you found this video useful. As I said, if you did, please would you like it and subscribe it. It helps me more than you know, and I cannot wait to see you in our next video so that we can continue to do digital better.
I can help you out. I can help